I sent you an email this week, where you did have a file with the finance class structure on the last session. As you can see, today the class is number 14. We have to complete the chapter 6 on the capital expenses decisions. And I will give you some homework assignment based on this chapter. And if we would have a free time, we will have a discussion based on the homework assignment number 7, which is the cash flow statement that we haven't completed yet, right? And the homework assignment number 9, based on the ratio analysis. For tomorrow, which is the last class on the finance, you will have 2 new topics. The chapter 7, performance evaluation, behavioral cost consideration, management accounting, and decision making. And you would have chapter 8, decision making and the condition of risk and uncertainty. This is a very short topics, so easy to learn. So I hope you can finish on one class. And we will have a discussion based on the exam. So tomorrow we'll be sending you the exam instruction. I will explain how the exam would be held on, what kind of question will be on your exam papers, and how many questions, or what kind of questions as well, where you should concentrate and focus. That would be discussed all about that tomorrow. So let's continue the class. So we have stopped at the chapter 6, capital expense decisions, and the example number 3, right? We have started about the net present value, which is one of method trying to make a right decision on the capital expenditure and any kind of investment or project. Based on this example, we have to find first the present values of the common profits. Like for the year first, it was, for example, based on cash flow statement. We should receive the $300, but with at the discount rate at the 10% after calculation, our present value of the future profit would be $273 only. For the second year, we have done the calculation of present values, and the result comes with $165, right? And the third year of the cash inflows, the net present value comes with the $75. Then, by the instruction, we have to follow the instruction of calculation the net present values. We have summarize all our present values based on the cash flow statement, which is we have for 3 years, right? And it resulted at the $513. Then we have to deduct our investment expenditure, which is the $400, from our present values over the 3 years. It's like 530 minus 400. Then you will get the net present value of project, which is results in $130. So based on the net present value methodology, to make a decision, if our net present value here comes with $130, comes with a positive amount, then projected can be accepted in the financial ground. That means from the side of financial um, grounds, like making the financial analysis based on the project, it will be accepted because we still have a profit at discounted rates, which is equal to $113, right? This is how we do calculation based on net present values. I would like to show you the previous slides, which is shows you the steps making of calculation of present values. Let me show you. First, this is very important. You must remember how to calculate the present value of the future cash flows on the project. The steps. First one, we have to determine the cash flows for each year of the proposed investment. That means you have to prepare your table of cash flow statement over the years. Then the second one, make calculation the net present values of each cash flow using the required rate. So our required rate was the 10%. You remember that that we are going to discount our money by the 10%. And at the second stage, we have to find the present values of the cash flow by the 10%. Then the third step, calculate the NPV in total. Then we have to summarize all our present values of the cash flows in overall. For example, based on the example, we had 3 years of the cash flow statement. So we do summarizing the cash flow over the 3 years. And the step number 4, deduct the investment from total NPV. So we must to find our let's say net profits from the project. We're deducting the investment, how much we invest in the project, from the total net present values, which means from the total let's say the cash inflows at the present time. Then we will see our results. If our results after the step number 4 comes with a positive figure, then the project is acceptable on the financial grounds, which means based on the financial analysis of the calculations, project can be accepted. But we have another kind of conditions which we must consider about, like some external, internal factors which can be affect the project, right? But as we are studying the financial management, as you are financial management managers, the future or the current one, for you the first important thing is you make analysis based on the financial grounds to find the process of the projects. Then you will produce you offer your all calculation and analysis to the top management, and they will decide that they will accept this project or not, or they will ask you make another additional evaluation. Oh, sorry. So let me see your question first. I haven't read your charts. Let me see first of all. Okay. So first of all, we are doing the calculation of present values, the net present values, the net present values methodology, to really find the acceptance of the project on financial grounds. Means making evaluation analysis based on the finance and accounting, that we just working with the figures. But when the top manager are going to and evaluating the projects based on their grounds, of course they will see another factors which will affect the project, right? Or the project will impact the rest of financial departments or the rest of metrics of companies, right? And when the result comes with the net present values in the positive, that means even at the discounted rate, even that we have we are discounted our cash values of the futures, we will get there some profits because of we can get the positive amount. The positive figures of an NPVs means we still have can get the profits from that project, right? That's what it means. So let's continue. So first step to prepare that let me conclude you the net present values of the instruction calculation. Let's say the calculation of the instruction of the calculations. The first, you have a project, right? For example, here it comes with over the 3 years. First, you have to prepare the cash flow statement of this project. Like, just show in the table, like how much you have invested and how much you will receive the profits over the years. Like here is the first year, second, and the third year comes with some kind of amounts of profits, right? Then second stage, we have to find the present values of our future cash flows. So at the present values, to find the present values of future cash flows, we must use our discounted rate. As in this example, it comes with a 10%. But this is a 10%, is not fixed percentage of discount rate. So in your project, you can make it at 15%, let's say, or 20. It depends on the project. If you think that, or you think in the future money lose their values, then you can increase your the required rate, which is the discounted rate. Make it more than 10%, let's say. Then, after we have made calculation and found the present values of each cash flows, we must summarize it, like here is comes summarizing, and deduct from our investments expenditures. And you have to see the results. As we can see that we have invested only 400, and after discounted rates, we receive some profits, which is $513, right? And the difference, we still have a net profits, let's say, net profits of this project, which is equal to 113, and we call it the net present value. This is very important, the steps of calculation you do remember. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps, right? You must remember that's 5 steps. Let's continue. So here is given to you example number 4, based on the net present value. Just a different example, which is, you remember about the Monarch Medical Center, about CT scanners. And here is shows you the calculation in the table. That let's see. First of all, we have some initial investment, right? Here it presents you that this investments cost 659,715, right? Then we have some revenues, cash flows over the 5 years. Here is we have the first year we receive 183,000, and over the 5 years is the same amounts of revenues, right? You can see that we receive the same cash profits over the 5 years. And here is to find the present values. This shows you that the medical centers are using the 10% of discount rate to find the present values of future cash flows. And after calculation, we have received this, based on the formula, the present values over the 5 years. Like the first is counts with 166,000 and so on. And here is over the each year you can see the amounts, right? Then we have to summarize all our present values of future cash flows over the 5 years, which is called total cost savings. Right here is the 693,570, right? Then we have to deduct our investment cost from our total cost savings, the summarized present values. And at the end, we would find the net present values of the project, which is equal to 33,855. As you can see, the net present values of this project, based on the CT scanner, it comes with a positive net present values, NPV, with a positive figure that even at discounted rate, we will receive the profits based on this project. So the project can be accepted based on the financial grounds. And the 10% of the discounted rate. You remember how to find the present values of the future cash flows. We have a special formula that I was showing you previously. And let me see which slide is what in, if you can. The slide number 25 in your presentation. Just open it. You find that the formula to find the present value of future cash flows. It's not like you are taking the cash flows and deducting the 10%. That's all. There is a special formula which is shows and helps us to find the present value of future cash flows. It's not so simple as we think, because I have seen that most of you are asking about how to find the 10% of future cash flows, that the result comes with different results, right? You have to remember that we use a formula that, let me show you again. This formula, the present values of the future cash flows. Here is, you have to take a 300. If you would going to discount 300 of a future cash flow at the present values, the formula is following. Take your 300 and deduct 1 plus 0.10. 0.10. This is a 10% in the 1 power. And the results comes with the present values, which is 273. It's only for the first year. So we use only this formula, not as you think with the percentage, just deduct the 10% from the amount. That's a different one. Then for the second year, as we have seen this example, the second year, the cash flow, the future cash flow of the second year was 200. Then you take your 200, deduct 1, always 1, fixed 1, plus 0.10, which is the already fixed 10% in this example. And at the second power, which means for the second year, you see? At the second power, if we do it at the second year, that means the amount, actually the value already will be decreased by the 2 times, right? Then I remember that you had the question about the like example about the inflation, which is inflation would be fluctuable every year. For example, it would be increased over the years. And this is in the form of the powers for first, second year. So that shows you the increase of inflation rate, let's say, the rate of increase, the increasing rate of inflation, let's say. That makes lower values by the 2 times, let's say. And at the results, we can see that the present value for the second year will be 165. And in the third year, for example, here we have got the cash flow for future cash flow is show that is $100. 100 deduct 1, always 1, based on the formula, you see. Plus R is a discounted rate is a 10%. The 10% we must let's say convert to the number, which is the 0.10, and times by the three powers at the third powers, at the 3 powers. Like we must multiply by the 3 times the same figure. Then at the results we can receive and get the present values, which is $75. If you have, for example, the project for the 5 or more than 8 years, then the power will be the amount of power is the same as the number of year of cash flows. If it's the 5th years, you are going to find the present value of the 5th years. Then you must put the number 5 at the powers, the 5, and multiply it by 5 times the same amount. This is what we do based on the formula. Okay, thank you. So I hope you got it. So only use the formulas to find the right numbers. And in this example number 4, I just would like to show you the present. Here we show you the present values of a $1 at a 10%. This is based on the formula. We can find just already the present values of a $1 at any percentage. Like here it shows it's like for the investments year, which is 0 year, it's a $1 equal to 1. At the first year of cash flow statement, the $1 at the 10 discount rate, it equals to 0.909. This is the results based on the formula, which was at the lowest stage. You remember? That's how we can do it. This is a different way of calculating the present values. So I have a request to make a break for 10 minutes. Okay, we can do it if you all agree with that. Okay, I'm not sure because some of you say that we can do right now. Some of you say that the make break after 5 or 10 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Let's do it right now. The break for 10 minutes is 25. We will be going to back at 35 minutes. So we have looked at the example number 4, right? Let's see, we have another example number 5, which is based on 2 projects of Monarch Medical Center about CT scans. Do you remember? We have reviewed this project at the beginning of the class, at the beginning of the presentation. Alright? So after calculation of the net present values of the 2 projects, we have got some results. The first project will be result in the net presence of cash flows by the $33,855. So we still have a positive amount. And the net present values of the cash flows at the second project counts with 31,520. So here is, I think that's, yeah, these two figures must be changed. It's okay, you never mind. For the second project, there is some mistakes about the net present values and must be more than it. Let's see the calculations. So we must get all our present values of the cash flows over the 5 years, these figures, to summarize it and deduct from the investment cash flows, right? So if you have your calculators, you can try to make and find the figures. Let me do it right now. Let's see the second project. We are going to solve the second project of present values. Here is the net present values in the second project is 2,335, right? So and we must make a decision as based on the two projects. We have a two project with the positive present values. And for example, if you have one choice only to choose one project from the two variations, you have to choose that project where the net present values is the higher. For example, based on these projects, the higher net present values comes in the first project, right? Is the 33,855. Because at the second project net present value we have only 2,335. So to compare those two projects, the best project as we can assume that is the first project, alternative 1, where is additional CT scanner, where we have to buy additional CT scanner, right? This is all about when we are going to choose one project among the rest of. So if you have two or more than projects, and you must make decision and to choose one project only, then you have to select the project with the highest net present values. As here is in example 5, the highest present values of project, it comes in the alternative 1, right? Where is the present value of cash flow is equal to 33,855. It's more than 200 compared to the second alternative. So we can make a decision that firstly, the two projects are acceptable, but if we have to choose one, we prefer the project alternative number 1 to buy additional CT scanner because it has higher net present values, which means the project has higher profits at discounted rate. So this is how we do conclusion based on the our financial analysis. Let's continue. Now we are going to move for the second method, which is as well based on the discounted rate. It calls internal rate of return, or just IRR. So this is actually economic return earned by the project over its life. That with this IRR method, we are going to find how much we actually can earn from the project over its life. The discount rate at which the NPV over the cash flow is equal to 0. So in IRR actually method, that it has its own very complicated formula, and the formula shows that the NPV is equal to 0, and the important thing is that what is the rate should be, what the required rate, the discounted rate should be to make the net present value at the 0 amount. So this is very important. So this method, IRR method, can be determined manually. So we have a formula. I will show you in the next slides. Or we can use the financial calculator of software. So I just want to show you here is the link of the financial calculator to find the internal rate of return. So it here is based on this link. If you go in this link, you can find the financial calculator, or we can find manually the rate itself. So how we actually make calculation and how we should find our internal rate of return. We have a few steps as we had at NPV. The first step, determine the cash flows for each year of the proposed investment. This is always we do, right? We prepare the cash flows of the project. The second, we have to calculate the IRR to find our internal rate of returns. And the third step, if IRR is greater, is more, which means more higher than the required rate of return, the project is acceptable on the financial ground. So let me show you the formula of this method. Yeah, formula is very complicated. So here is what we have to find. The R, where is the return rate? This is this discount rate we must to find firstly. And where is the net present value would be equal to 0 here is. That is very very interesting and complicated formulas. I have some explanation based on the example. So let me show you. So right now I'm going to explain how to make calculation of IRR manually. So this is very important. So first, we know that the IRR is where is the net present value equal to 0, right? Thus NPV must be equal to 0. So we are going to use the formula of NPV. You remember? We have a formula at the NPV. We are going to use this formula, same formula. The present value of a future cash flows minus the initial investment, we can get 0. So 0, this is the net present value, the net present value of a project, right? So, and here is based on the net present value formula. You remember it comes like CFI, which means CFI1. It's a cash flow of first year, and divide on 1 plus R, which is the required rate, in the first power. So this is the same formula as the present values formula, right? So we have done. So this formula you must remember. So if you remember this formula, you can find, you can make decisions based on the two different methods. So, and as based on the steps of net present values, we have to first to identify present values of a cash flows, the future cash flows for the each year, right? Here is the first one in the first part, which is in this first part of cash flow means that we are trying to find the present value of the first year cash flows. The plus the second year, the cash flow of the second year, CF2, that means CF2, the cash flow of second year. Deduct on 1 plus R in the second power. That means this cash flow from the, comes in the second year. And plus so on. This is like how many years we have over the project that we must do it. All the summarize these present values of those projects, of those cash flows. Then after that we have summarized the present values of a future cash flows over the years of a project. We have to deduct from our initial investment, right? From our investment cost. Then we will get the zero. We must get the zero. And the question is how to make our net present value at a zero amount, and if we do not know the required rate. So the important thing is to make the required rate at that percentage, whereas net present value will be equal to zero. So that means required rate affects or impacts our net present values. And I will show you this calculation based on an example. I have it. Let me see. Yeah, I have it example. But first of all, let me explain again the steps of calculations. Here is said that but the problem is we cannot isolate the variable R, which is the internal rate of return, on one side of the above equation, right? We cannot isolate it from the formula, which means. However, there are alternative procedures which can be followed to find the internal rate. So the simplest of them is described below. The first one, get the value of R of internal rate and calculate the NPV of the project at that value. That means we can just make an assumption that at which percentage the discount rate, whereas the NPV would be equal to zero. Just assumes to make assumption of the amount of internal rate, like a 10% or 15 or maybe at 20%. The second step, if NPV is close to zero, then IRR is equal to zero, right? So after calculation, when we just make assumption that our internal rate would be, for example, at the 10%, and whereas we have got the net present value equal, near to close to zero, then we have to adjust our R internal rate. It comes at the step 3. If NPV is greater than zero, then you have to increase your internal rate and jump to the step 5. Whereas step 5 says recalculate the NPV using new value of R and go back to step 2. Whereas 2 is again make calculation of IRRs. But if the NPV is smaller than zero, but what that means NPV is smaller than zero, that NPV comes with a negative amount, right? Then you have to decrease your R, your discount rate, and jump to the step 5. Recalculate, make recalculation of NPVs. So when we are trying to find our IRR, manually based on our formula. We're actually making assumptions of rates. Just making assumption that what guessing like let's say we can guess what the rate of the figure of internal rates would be if our if where is the net present value will be equal to 0. Let's see this calculation based on the example. That example make you clear of calculation. Yeah, this is actually all calculations. If you have a maths with the maths knowledge in the classes, the students with the maths knowledge or who has some background, then they can. That would be easy for them to make a calculation. But anyway, as we have a formula, we can use it and can do the calculations. So let's see the example. Example here is based on IRR method. Define the IRR of an investment having initial cash outflow of 213,000. So that means we have project where the investment cost equal to 213,000. The cash inflows during the first, second, third, and the fourth years are expected to be. So as here it says that the first, second, third, and fourth. That means our project, the project of the life, is equal to 4 years. So project comes all over the 4 years, and we have some following inflows, or let's say the profits from this project. At the first year, we are going to receive 65,200. At the second year, 98,000. At the third year, 73,000. And at the fourth year, the cash inflows equal to 55,400, right? Now, we have to find the internal rate of returns, where net present value is equal to 0. That means internal rate of return means we are going to find the rate at which net present value of this project will be equal to 0. So first, we are assuming that the R, which is discount rate, is a 10%. You see, we're just assuming. So we're starting from the 10%. And after calculation, NPV at a 10% discounted rate is equal to 18,000. So we still, NPV is still higher than the 0, right? Is 18,000. Since the NPV is greater than the 0, as here is 18,000, we have to increase the discounted rate. Thus, we are increasing the discounted rate by the 13%. After calculation of NPVs, we have got that the NPV resulted at the 4,500. But it is still greater than the 0, is higher than the 0. We have to first increase our rates. So we just increase for 1%, it becomes 14% discount rate. After calculation of NPVs over the 4 years of this project, we did find that the net present values of this project is equal to $204, right? So it is still greater than the 0. Then we can assume and increase our discount rate by the 15%. At the 15%, net present values is already comes with a negative figure minus 3,975. But actually, our net present value must be equal to 0. So, since net present value is fairly close to 0 at the 14%, right? Maybe it's 14.5 or 14.3%, let's say. Then value of R, discounted rate or internal rate, therefore will be 14%, around let's say the close to 14%. So this is how we do manually calculations of internal rate of returns. Based on these calculations, we did find that the internal rate returns must be equal to or close to 14%. So any questions so far based on calculations? So based on the net present values formula, we must find the rate, which is R, where the net present value must be equal to 0. You see, this is very complicated. As we cannot get out this R from the formula, we just assuming the discounted rate. And as you can see, we have started from the 10%. Then we found that the IRR is close or nearly close to 14%. And our present values of this project will be equal to around 200 or around close to 0. And here is, in this example, I didn't show you the calculation of net present values. For example, as it starts from the 10%. You can do it yourself. For example, based on this formula, you take first we're going to find the present value for the first year. You remember how to make it? Take your 65,200, divide on a 1 plus 10% in the first power. Then you will get, this is 18,372. This is already net present value. You have to make calculation to find the present values over the 4 years, then deduct from your investment. Then you will find the net present value, which is equal to 18,372. Okay, let me show you where I did find this present value. Let me type for you. That maybe would be okay. Let me type for you over the slides. That would be, I think. I think I did something wrong. Let me do it first. First of all, you remember based on the net present values formula, the stage 1, we have to prepare the table of our cash flows. Like investment, first in this project, investment cost. Investment cost equal to, as you can see, 213,000, right? Next one, year 1, the first year of the cash flows is equal to 65,200, right? Based on this example. The second year, the year number 2 of the cash flows is equal to 98,000, right? Here is, sorry, the second year. Sorry. I think this is the better if I will chat for you, because here is that if you can't see what I have done, that's Yeah, so let me do it again. Let me do it again because the calculation is like, okay, investment is 213,000, right? Next one, the cash inflow from the first year is equal to 65,200, right? The year two, the cash inflow from the second year is 98,000, right? Year three, the third year of a cash inflow is equal to 73,100, and year four is cash inflow from the year four is equal to 55,400. So first step we have done, we prepared the cash flow statement of this project. That you have how you should do to prepare this table, right? Then we have to find the present value of each year. Like in the first year, you follow the formula 65,200 divide 1 plus 10 percentage. How much it would be in this if we convert in amount? Is it 0.10, right? And this must be in the first power. Because this is a calculations of a first year. Then, if you can do your calculation, if you have your calculators, please find me the present values of a first year. How much it would be? Okay, I wanna type for you in the chat box of a calculation, and you have to find me present values of for the first cash inflow. So please try to find, if you use your calculators. So I can do my own as well, getting my 65,200 of future cash flows and dividing on 1.1, right? And I have got the results 59,272, 59,273 around. So this is my present values of a first year future cash flows. Okay, it's equal to, here is 59,273. Did you got this amount? Use your calculators to find this amount. Now we are doing and trying to find the present value for the second year. Can you do it your own? 98,000 and divide on 1 plus 10 percentage. At the 2 power. So how much you can get? Can you do your calculations? Because if you do your own calculations, then that it will be clear for you how did you found the figures. Try to make your own calculation to find these figures. Because it's easy when you use the calculator. That is simple calculations. So I did find my present value of a second year is equal to 80,992. So I'm rounding the figures. 992. Oh. 992. Did you got this amount from your calculations? This is a simple one. We use the formula when you make calculations and use the formula, then you can remind it in your minds, then you can do it just by yourself. Anyone wants to help me to make calculations? Because I already have results, so you can do it your own. So, I already found that the present value for the second year is equal to 80,992 based on the formula. And you should remember that we have a powers based on the powers. Do not mistake. So there is. So the second year, here is did find the present value of second year is equal to 80,992. Where is the 2? Where is the 98,000 divided 1 plus 0.10 at the second power equal to 80,992. This is how we do make calculations, can find the present values of a future cash flows. So after that, we have defined all the present values of each for the 4 years. Of the 4 years, we have to summarize our present values. Our present values here is, and for the year 3 and for the year 4, summarize them, and then deduct from our investment. And the result will be equal to 18,372. This is how we do to find the net present values. And this we have done to find the net present values at a 10 discounted rate only. So when you're trying to find and assuming the discounted rates, like here is 13%, 14, 15, we will have a big calculations, right? We do a lot of calculations. That's how we can find them manually. So I hope you do understand the internal rate of returns formula and calculations. That's very important. And as I have sent you as well the financial calculator where you can use it. Let me show you at the end of the class how we can use the software program to find these figures. That's the best, easiest way. But anyway, if you do it manually, for example, in some cases you won't find the financial calculator or you don't have internet access, then you can do it manually by yourself and using the formulas. Let's move. Here is example number 6, which is still based on the Monarch Medical Center. So we did find the return rates of these projects. Based on this example, our net present value is equal 0, where we did find that the present values of this project will be 0 at the 12 discounted rate of percentage, at the 12% of discounted rate. You see, at the 12% of discounted rate, net present values of a project will be equal to 0. That means our internal rate, the rate of returns of our investment, must be equal to 12%. What that means, internal rate of return? That means at which rate we can get back our investment money. As the net present values shows you that there is some profits, right? At the 0 profits, that we don't receive any profits, and as well no any losses. Our required rate of returns must be equal to 12%. If our net present value will be, for example, negative, that's the worst for the project that we can. That means we would receive some loss on this project. But just to get our money back and to find at what rates our investment will be getting back, our investment money can be getting back, we're using the IRR method, which is internal rate of return, to find the required rate of returns. Okay, some of you are asking me a request to leave the class. You can leave the class without noting me, because this is up to you. So here is the net present value is equal to 0 at the 12% rate. That means at the 12 required rate of 12 rate, which is the return rate of our investment, we can get back investment cost from this project. So let's see the next one. So right now we're going to compare the net present value and IRR method. So this is two methods which is considering time value of money, right? So net present value has many advantages over the IRR. It's easy to calculate manually. Adjustments for risk possible under net present value. The MBA will always yield only one answer, right? So it's easy to calculate. We can get one answer, which means the one result. The net present value overcomes unrealistic reinvestment assumption required rate of return. That means the net present value is easier calculate than the IRR. We are not going to make some assumption of rates or something else, and the results will be always at the one amount. And another kind of advantage is the reinvestment assumption, that the cash flows available during the life of a project are assumed to be reinvested at the same rate as the project's rate of return. That means over the years, if we have some profits from the project, we can reinvest in this project again to reinvest the profit in the project. So here is giving to you some kind of assumptions of underlying the discounted cash flows analysis. So you have to remember two important things: the year-end timing of the cash flows and the certainty of the cash flows. That we have to know. We have to know the let's say the time life of a project. This is very important. We have different projects, and we must know the let's say the duration of the project's life is very important. The duration of project's life, like the project is given for 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. We must know definitely at the what's the time life of the project. And as well, we have to know, we must make assumptions of a profit over this project. How much profit we receive in each year. And actually, how we can determine the required rate of returns? This is usually based on the firm's weighted average cost of capital. And the weighted average cost of capital, these rates we are going to study later. And how we can find, actually this is the average cost of capital. This is which means the rate at which we can get back our investment, we can get back our investment from the project. It can be adjusted to take the account of the risk of a particular project. This is just like we can make assumptions, or we have to actually make calculations over all the capital costs, the rates of a capital cost. This is how do financial managers do. They want make just a simple assumption. They're trying to make evaluation and analysis to find at which rate they can get back all the investments from the project. And actually, the capital expenditure can be or may be approved even if we have some negative net present values. Why it says like this? At the first time and the previous slide, as I told you that the project can be accepted where net present value is a positive, right? But sometimes we can accept the project where the negative net present values comes. It's because of it depends from the different rest of conditions of a project, right? Because we might think that the project has some qualitative concerns, like based on our organization or company. We might think that anyway, if we think that the project is not profitable in the terms of money, that we won't get any profits, but in terms of, like, let's say it will increase our reputation, or it will give us some the opportunities to find the new customers or to find the good partners, then we can accept that kind of project, because we have to see far away of our futures, which means to make some forecasting of our investments. The forecasting based on the organization's development, the company development. Okay, this is that I want to tell you that the important things when you are trying to make analysis and evaluation of a project, any investment, you must think far away beyond of your project to make forecasting of this project, how it impacts on your organization development and on your organization profits in the futures beyond of the project. I hope you do understand that. As I told you, that some project can be, let's say, can bring some losses, but at the different situation or ways, they bring some advantages, like increase our reputation. As I told you, that pronounce our company as like say as a good company, or could help us to acquire the new customers. Let's say like a charity. Do you know about the charities? Like some huge organizations, they make charities, they make donations, and This is all donations and the money they invest in the, like they are, this is like, let's say the investment without any profits, right? We're just losing our, let's say from the financial ground, we're just losing our money, investing and making some donation in the, in some kind of organizations or charity companies. But this is the charities and donate they brings like the good reputation for the company, that the company concerns about the people, let's say, about other kind of things, which depends on the charity company campaign, right? This is as well the brings the advantages in the not financial terms, but in the terms of as companies, the company will be announced and pronounced as the best of charities company that concerns about the people, like this. This is what I'm talking about, where some kind of investments brings different advantages to the company. So, and here is some very important things you should remember, that the net present value and the IRR method, they focus only on the cash flow, flows. And depreciation charges are not cash flows. So that means depreciation is not considered in these methods. And where the business is liable for income taxes, depreciation is a tax deduction. So we put the depreciation in the income statements, not at the cash flows. So this is just to remember that, for example, as we, based on the Monarch Medical Center, we did find, we made evaluation based on 2 projects about the CT scanners, and depreciation charges weren't considered in those projects. So, and if we are going to compare the 2 alternative investment projects, where we are using the net present value and IRR methods, those 2 methods may give different rankings for the projects. That means you know already different methods to make a decision on the project and the investment, right? And actually, the results like of acceptance or reject, or of to accept the project or reject the project from a different methods will be a different one. Due to reinvestment assumption of IRR, it will be different. And net present value results in a correct rankings. You must remember that when we use a different methods to make analysis, to evaluation based on the project, the results as well can be different. So you must do consider about these things. Which method to choose to make a decision on the investment. So you don't think that if you use a different methods and the results will be the same one, where we can accept or reject the project. The results can be different as well, because different methods, they consider different amounts, different conditions of a project. This is very important. That's fine. This is okay. So here is, I'd like to show you from these web links, you can find the net present values table, calculating the present values of investment. Here is the links. And you can find the financial calculator for IRR from this link. And as well, if you would like to practice based on net present value and IRR, I have some links based on the practical exercises you can find your own and to find the exercises, the practical exercises. So that's all about the capital expenditure decisions methods. I'd like to show you that the homework assignment based on the technique use of analyzing the capital expenditure proposals, a project or investments. Let me explain you first this homework assignment, then you can do it your own. So based on this exercise assignment, actually you are going to make calculation all of those methods that we have taught already. Okay? Because it's very important, if you do your own calculations, then you can memorize it and you understand it more clear. So exercise number 1 is the project analysis. The assume that you are evaluating the 3 following exclusive projects. So let me show you. This is the assignment. You have a 3 project Project A, B, and C. Each project is given for 3 years, and costs are at the same amount. The A project is 6,800, B project same, and the C is accordingly. But you have a different cash inflows over those 3 projects. At the first project, you have no any cash inflow the first year, at the second year as well, and you will receive the profits on the 3rd year only, which is equal to 12,920. The second project B, it brings you the cash inflows over the 3 years at the amount of 3,740 for each year. You see, you have a fixed profits over the project B. Project C brings you the profits over the 3 years by the 3 different of cash inflows. The first year is 2,040. Sorry. The second year brings to you 3,400, and the third year 6,586. Right? 68. Sorry, 68. So, firstly, already I have prepared you the table of cash flows over the 3 projects A, B, and C. Let's see the assignment itself. You have to complete the following analysis. Where is values says for over the 3 projects. You must find the payback period for the project A, B, and C. You have to make calculations and find the IRR for projects A and B and C. As well, you have to find the net present values at the 10% and the 15% over the 3 projects A and B and C. So you must fill up all this fill up this table actually. Then you have to rank these 3 projects over the each method. Like you have a payback period, ARR, NPV at 10% and NPV at 15%. You have to rank them which project takes the first place, second, and according to the 3rd place. So by the each methods, this is like here is just fill up all the blanks. Then question B asking you if the 10% is the required return, which project is preferred? At the net present value of a 10%, you have to give me the answer. So first of all, here is, in this assignment, you have to fill up all the blanks to find all the payback periods, ARRs, NPVs over the 3 different projects, right? Then to rank them. And important things, you have to show me the calculations as well. Because if your result would be, for example, your table would be wrong, but your calculations are correct, then I will accept it as well. And this similar assignment you will have in your exam. So why it's very important you do this homework assignment? This is because you will have the exercise in your exams similar to this one. So this was exercise number 1. What about exercise number 2? It's based on the net present value. 2 years ago, a new project capital project was approved for the $150 million based upon the cash flows listed below. Calculate the net present value for the original proposal at the 18%. So you have a project over the 5 years, right? Already I have given to you the table 1. The investment is cost $150 million, and in each year you have cash inflows in the millions. Like the first year is the 4 millions of profits brings you. The second year 40 millions in the cash inflows. Third year 60, and accordingly 76 and 110. So you already been prepared the cash flow statement of this project. Now the assignment says you have to calculate the net present value at the 18% discount. So you must find the present values for each year of future cash flows at the 18%, okay? As we have done the previous examples. And this calculation can be done based on the instructions of the net present values formula which you have in your presentation. So that's all. So you have 2 assignments. The first is based on the 3 different projects where you have find the 1, 2, 3, 4 different methods and make decisions to rank each project. And the exercise number 2, second assignment, is based on the net present values. This is that's all what I am going to give you by today. Because this assignment is very important, you will have a similar assignment in your exams. And as we have tomorrow last class, but I know that the 1 day is not enough for you to solve this homework assignment. So we might get some additional class on the next week, just based on the discussion of homework assignment, okay? So the discussion about your exams will be done tomorrow, and tomorrow we will send you the instruction on exams, okay? So all about the exams is tomorrow, because today is the most important that we complete our new topic, chapter number 6, and you must do your homework assignments. So try to solve it by tomorrow. If you couldn't, then send it to me before the exam starts. Let me show you our structure. So we still have some discussions based on the 2 homework assignments, and I think that let's take some additional class on the next week, which will be based on the discussions of all the homework assignment that is left already. Okay, that would be a great one. So first list. And tomorrow you will have another two new topics, and we're going to discuss about the exams. And I hope you do understand this, all the techniques and methods of analyzing the capital expenditure proposals and capital expenditure projects. About the payback period method, ARR, NPV, and the IRR. You remember IRR as well? Must be here actually. That's okay. That's interesting. And these homework assignments must be include the internal rate of returns as well. Let me see what happens with the slide. Yeah, it's left. That's fine. So it's fine because the IRR, which is we left some methods in this assignment, we can do it on the class and solve it together. The payback period, ARR, and NPVs formula, all you have is already in your presentations, right? So you already, based on our finance subject, you have already studied 14 classes, already 14 sessions is being taught. And tomorrow would be session number 15. But actually, why we have lots of classes? We have a beyond the class beyond of our financial management structures, because we do a lot of practical exercise and homework assignments. They take time, right? That's why. Normally the financial management comes with 10 to 12 sessions only. But those 10-12 sessions is without any practical exercises and homework assignments. I mean the discussions based on the homework assignments. But as we done, there are a lot of discussions on the homework assignments, and that's why our classes goes beyond of our plans. But the best things, the important thing that the more you know, the more information you can get, that the more you can memorize in your mind based on your MBA studies, right? And this homework assignment number 10, I did send you on the last week, on the previous week. You have it in your mailboxes because I sent it in the previous weeks. The homework assignment number 10 from the previous week. I did already send all the chapters and the homework assignments as well. Let me see. Right. This is and we have completed our chapter number 6. Let's see our financial class structure. So we have finished the chapter number 6, which is the best on the capital expense decisions, right? And tomorrow we have left another 2 new topics, chapter number 7 and 8, based on financial management. And almost you must have, let me see how many presentations you should have based on your study. There is a lot actually. Let me see how many presentations you must have based on financial management. Is, yeah, because as we had the accounting skills, and we have a lot of presentation on the accounting skills as well, and the financial management too. Let me see. I have my structure. I want to see. You have around 1, 2, 3, 4, 9, 10, 11, 12. Around 14 presentations, I think so. Around 14 presentations based on financial management, which includes the accounting skills and the financial management itself. And all 14 chapters, the half of them is on the accounting skills and half of them on the financial management. And plus you have the homework assignments, right? I don't remember, it's around 10 homework assignments. So based on those 14 chapters. So, and each homework assignment includes a few exercises, right? 2, 3 exercises. So there is. So you have already very good completed the literature of presentation homework assignments based on the financial management. For example, after you finish your MBA studies, you can review it again for your own consideration if you need for your jobs, for your works, or for the other studies. And some of you say to me that you have only 8 chapters, but I have my email list, which I did receive from the administration, and I always send the chapters to all of the students that I have in my mail list. And yeah, if you don't have some kind of chapters, try to get from your classmates, or you just send me email, and where you have to mention which chapters you don't have it in your mailboxes. Then I would send you. Okay, that's just do like that. So tomorrow last class with the 2 new topics, and with the exam instruction, the discussion based on the exam instructions. And we might have another 1 class before the exams, which will be totally based on the homework assignments that is left, that we haven't completed yet. Okay, so we do like this. And the exam date will be around uh, um, 24th of May, but I'm going to fix it tomorrow. So tomorrow I will let you know exactly which date would be exam. Anyway, I will give you 2 weeks before the exam to prepare, or, to be prepared actually. So 2 weeks will be giving you to prepare for the exam. 2 weeks. So, and tomorrow we'll let you know which topics you have to study and review again. So that's all. Any questions so far? Based on your homework assignment number 10 and chapter 6? If no, we can complete today's session. So thank you very much, and see you tomorrow. Tomorrow we have a last class. Very important to come, all of you, tomorrow. Thank you. Goodbye.